About a month ago, the Game Awards would feed us what is probably one of the biggest announcements in a long time. And you may ask yourself, what is this announcement? The announcement that they demonstrated to us is that the Batman that is going to be present in the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League video game is going to be the same one we've played in the Arkham series. And some of you guys don't understand how horrifying this Batman is, but I will demonstrate it to you. And this is why Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is a horror game. And first off, let's start off by really explaining who or what Batman in the Arkham series really is. And the Batman, presented here is probably one of the most scariest versions of Batman we've seen. And I'm talking about movies, cartoons, comics, video games, all of that. He's definitely up there with the best. And the reason is because this is one of the most violent ones we've seen yet. There hasn't been a Batman that's just put so many emotions to each punch, and each punch that we see, that we feel, that we can look at in the screen is just filled with so much rage, so much fury, because of the fact that he's fighting people that, in his way of thinking, are people who took away his parents. And I know that can be said for, the majority of Batman comics, but this one just emphasizes that so much. The rage he feels is so, present in the game, and that's what's really horrifying. Game. We've seen him at his most violent stage as possible, especially in Arkham Origins. Now, another thing I've been wanting to talk about: stealth. And I know you may ask, well, isn't Batman always stealthy? Yes, he is, but it is more emphasized in the games, because in the game we actually get to play through it. We get to see with our own eyes. We get to feel what it feels like to be the Predator. And apart from this Batman also being damn near superhuman, and that is not a joke, but I will talk about that further into the game. Also, he's very stealthy. He has an arsenal of weapons and gadgets at his disposal, making his stealth even better. And you know what? I'm going to show you a clip of the game just to demonstrate. As you can see, he's very, very stealthy. He uses his gadgets in many ways and forms. Most of the time, the enemies can't even detect that he's even in the room. So that all of that contributes to the fact that our encounter with the Dark Knight, specifically in this game, will be even more terrifying and filled with paranoia. Which brings us to our next topic: how he'll use his gadgets against us. In the Arkham games, specifically Arkham Origins, we were able to use a very neat gadget called the Disruptor, and guess what it does? It disrupts the enemy's guns or firearms, making them completely useless and null. And guessing that he'll use all of his weapons against us, what is very possible considering Deadshot is one of the more dangerous people or members in the Suicide Squad, he'll probably nullify Deadshot and make him completely useless. And this will be even more terrifying. This will be even more dangerous considering, the fact that a very important member of the team that has to take down Batman won't be using his prime or more, or best ability. Now let's talk about our next topic: Batman's mentality and weakness. This version of Batman is especially frightening considering he doesn't have fear anymore. Back then, his only weakness was his fears, the death of his parents, and his psychology. But in Arkham Knight, Batman let go of all of his fears. It's non-existent, meaning he has no weaknesses other than his mortality, which brings us to talk about Batman's damn near superhuman capabilities. This version of Batman is the peak human capacity. It is shown in Arkham Knight. During his multi-takedowns, he has supernatural speed. Basic. This isn't your normal Batman. It's not a realistic version of him, but a more fictional version of himself. You put this Batman against any Batman and he destroys them. He could very much be the strongest Batman to ever exist. And our last point is his contingency plans. Batman has contingency plans for Earth's most powerful heroes. He's a guy who can take on the Justice League with prep time. What makes you think he hasn't investigated everything about the Suicide Squad? What makes you think you'll go into the game and he won't know every single one of your weaknesses? Which is also why I find this boss fight very difficult to do. But I will put my pitch on how it's gonna work in the end of the video and how I would make it work, obviously. But yeah, and to recap everything I said, Batman in this game, imagining he doesn't have the no killing rule, will go full throttle with you with enough anger to strike fear into your heart, has gadgets that boost his abilities and lock ours, and is one of the strongest Batmans to ever exist, and has probably already made plans to take down the Suicide Squad by himself. Which makes obviously this boss fight very confusing. How are they gonna do this? Well, I already have my pitch on it, and this is how I think I would approach this. Making a boss fight for a character this powerful is very difficult, but my approach, what I would do if I was the developer is, well, first of all, the boss fight would be obviously a stealth boss fight. You look around for him and boom, he tries to fight you, but Brainiac's mind control keeps him stunned and he's there for like 3 seconds and can't do anything, and that's when you can take advantage to punch him. Alright? And obviously he switches back, he takes down that character, and then you have to switch characters and go on and do the same thing, look for him again, he gets stunned, and repeat. I honestly don't mind how they use him. I'm just really happy he's back, and that's why Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is a horror game. And yeah, that's about it. See ya.